Hello and welcome to The Week. This is Pooja Biraya, and today we are discussing neglected tropical diseases, that is NTDs. NTDs are a group of diseases caused by diverse organisms, and these affect millions of people around the world, especially those like us living in tropical and subtropical conditions. NTDs are more prevalent among people who live in poverty, without access to clean water, adequate sanitation, and quality healthcare. But most of these NTDs are chronic conditions. But however, even if they are chronic conditions, they really affect your quality of life than affecting your longevity of your life. So, India experiences a significant burden of NTDs, of global NTDs, and the paradox is that NTDs are preventable, they are completely preventable and treatable at an affordable cost. Yet, it has become so challenging to address them both at the government level as well as at a public healthcare level. Which are these neglected tropical diseases? Well, you'll be surprised. There are so many of them, especially in India. We have dengue, chikungunya, Guinea worm disease, leishmaniasis, scabies, leprosy, and so many more. So that's what I said, that we have a big burden of NTDs across the world. As per government data, India experiences the world's absolute burden of at least 11 main NTDs. And that is why, to explain this further, the week interviewed Dr. Bhupendra Tripathi, country head for neglected tropical diseases elimination at Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. And he joins us at the week.
Very good evening, sir. How are you doing?
Hi, Pooja. Good evening. Yeah, I'm doing good. Thank you so much, and thanks for sparing time for us.
Let's begin. Right. So let's start from the NTDs. I mean, what is about them that makes it so difficult for them to be eliminated in the first place? Yeah. Mhm.
And if we pick up only two diseases today,
Right.
lymphatic filariasis and visceral leishmaniasis, Kala Azar.
Right.
Kala Azar is a disease which is transmitted by a sandfly. It's a insect basically. Fly
Right.
is a misnomer. It only jumps. It
Hmm.
stays mostly in areas where organic material is there, and there are some crevices in the walls. So if you find cracks in the walls, they can actually hide there. And the female sandfly bites human beings or any individual with blood to basically regenerate the offspring, the eggs basically.
Okay.
Okay. So
Yeah.
now in the process of transmitting, the sandfly will bite.
Yeah.
If she happens to carry the parasite for visceral leishmaniasis, she transmits the parasite. The parasite goes inside and develops into adult ones, and
Yeah.
then they go into the spleen and the liver, and they can cause death. So that is the life cycle.
Yeah.
And if a person who is suffering, if a normal sandfly bites,
Hmm.
the sandfly will get infected, and when she bites somebody else, she will transmit. So this is
Fine.
disease A.
Yeah.
Similarly, disease B, lymphatic filariasis, is a disease transmitted by mosquitoes. And
Okay.
if I am having, infection in my body, if the mosquito bites me, she will
Yeah.
get the blood along with the blood, she will get the larva of filaria worm. And
Okay.
in the mosquito, it grows up, and when the mosquito bites anybody else, she will transmit the larva to that individual. Okay, then what happens? That individual will have that larva grown up.
Right.
And lymphatic filariasis, the larva becomes adult worm,
Hmm.
male and female in the body. And
Okay.
they live in the lymphatic channels. So just like artery, vein, we also have lymphatics in the body. Lymphatics means two things. One is the vessels, and second is the lymph nodes. You must have heard in the cancer, lymph nodes are removed or lymph node becomes swollen. Here, what happens? The worms live in these places, lymphatic channels and lymph nodes. And the male and female worms, they produce babies known as microfilaria blood. And when the mosquito bites, the microfilaria will go in the mosquito, and the mosquito will bite somebody else. It will get transmitted. Now, what happens because of that adult worm? Till the time adult worm is alive, like 5 to 15 years, their lifespan is 5 to 15 years. Till the time they are alive, they will keep on moving inside the. Just assume a pipe is there, a narrow pipe, and there are some obstructions there. The moment they die, there is a sort of reaction which happens in that pipe, and the flow of the materials gets stopped, and the pipe becomes porous, and the fluid goes nearby. Just like a sewer line, getting blocked and choked, what happens? All the sewer water will come on the roads. Similarly, it comes in the body. The sad part is it cannot be treated. There is no modern medicine or injection or an operation which can make it normal. Like we all get diarrhea, we take the medicine, we get improved, we recover, isn't it? But in lymphatic filariasis, it's a lifelong problem. And most infections happen during the childhood. So if the person has the infection and by 15-20 years they will have the swelling, they will not have the swelling the same day. So there is an incubation period of 10 years, 15 years. Okay.
That's a very long incubation period.
That is the message which we want you to communicate to individuals, that friends, those of you who are looking normal today may be having the transmission, but you are not sure. So all the children in today's date living in any area, rural area or urban slums, if they are getting bitten by a mosquito and if there is any one person in the locality having the active infection, macrophilaria, they can transmit the disease. And then the symptoms will come when the child is teenage or young adult, 20, 24. And at that time we have no medicine, no solution to improve it, become it normal. But if people in the geography, everybody consumes these preventive drugs and macrophilaria is killed everywhere. And if it's continued for the time, 5 years, till the time when the adult worm also dies, then what happens? We eliminate the disease.
Right. Okay.
So that is the reason why we all are requesting you to make it a news, because today what is happening, government is taking the drugs to houses. 5-7 years down the lane, it was not happening, but now it is happening. Drugs are reaching via ASHA or volunteers, but people say, I will not consume the drugs because I am apparently healthy. Why should I consume?
So this is a behavior problem. This is a psychological problem, or
knowledge problem. They don't have knowledge.
Yeah.
Second, behavior problem. You are absolutely right.
Yeah.
You see, if I know, if I am living in an area and there is a fire going on in my neighborhood, and if my house is connected to that house, I will be worried, isn't it? That the fire may come to my house.
True.
That fear factor is missing here. Because government selects the area based on the prevalence of the macrophilaria.
Right. Okay.
Earlier, it used to be a district. Now we say each block. So if there is a block where it is more than 1% transmission going on, the block is known as eligible for mass drug administration campaign. And in the campaign, all the individuals except pregnant mothers and children less than 2 years or anybody seriously ill, except those people, everybody is supposed to consume drugs. One is albendazole, second is DEC. And in some places, we have added a third drug, ivermectin. And everybody ate ivermectin during COVID, blindly. Nobody questioned anybody, isn't it? So but here, it has to be a combination of 3 drugs or 2 drugs.
Right.
Yeah, please.
No, please. No, I just wanted to also so far, where have we reached on a scale of 1 to 10 in terms of, addressing these issues and addressing, like, because these diseases are on a spectrum. There are so many of them, as you showed us. So tell us about the progress our country has made so far or not.
So there are 345 districts which are endemic for LF. Okay. Out of 345, 141 districts have actually stopped MDA campaigns. That means they have reached to a level where now they don't require campaign and their percentage is less than 1%.
Okay.
So that is a positive thing.
Right.
But having said that, there are still other districts which are having the transmission. Now, every year, all these districts go for mass drug administration campaign and coverage is there. Earlier, the coverage was less than 40%, 30%. Now we can say more than 65, 70% blocks are having coverage more than 65%, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
But having said that, there are still 30% blocks which are not above 65%.
Right.
So our emphasis is to support the government to make that coverage more than 80%.
Right.
If people come forward and consume the drugs, see, if there are concerns about free drug, they can perhaps go to their nearest medical shop and they can consume from there, purchase and consume. We have no objection on that, but they should consume. That bottom line message has to go if there is an MDA campaign.
The level of acceptance has to increase. that
Yes,
we need this and this is for our own benefit. I think
yes,
that message, it's taking time for this kind of message to be reaching people, or maybe even if it's reaching, they're just, uh,
it's
yeah,
very challenging.
it's
Yeah,
very challenging.
people don't see what happens. Our GHS colleagues are with us. We have other colleagues, other partners. They organize, MDA campaign launches like polio campaigns. If you recall, the
Yeah,
DMs and the minister CMs used to give drops to the children. We
right.
are doing similar type of activity today, but in polio it was only less than 5 years, small group. Here it's a full population except less than 2 years and pregnant. So the task is huge. And second, the number of pills is not one pill. Like albendazole is one pill.
Mm.
DEC comes with, weight, body weight, basically age base.
Yeah,
So any child between 2 to 5 years will require one, 5 to 15, two, and 15 above three. So in normal situation, any child less more than 15 years will require four pills to consume. So sometimes people are afraid because of the number of pills. Oh, there are so many pills. अंग्रेजी दवा है गर्म करती है हम नहीं खाएंगे. So that type of situation is there. And if ivermectin is added, it also has like based on body weight, but it's height weight. So what
right.
happens if it is like 5 to 7 years, 1, 7 to 9, 2, 9 to 12, 3, more than 12, 4. So 4 and 4, it becomes like 8 tablets.
Correct.
Although
True.
they are small, to bindi hoti hai hum logon ki size, it's this very small one,
Yeah.
but people don't consume
Won't
it.
consume because they already feel that there are so many medicines that I need to consume and it'll
Exactly,
harm me.
exactly,
Maybe that is also
exactly.
one reason. Right. Tell
Yeah.
us, my final question is, in which locations in India, in which states are these more, the cases are very high
So
of
very
NTD?
high standard UP, Bihar, Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, Odisha, West Bengal,
Right.
some part of MP, some part of Maharashtra. So that is the standard. There were cases in Gujarat, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, and Karnataka also, but they have now reached to a level less than 1%. So the
Oh,
campaigns have stopped there. But any geography where migration is happening,
right.
that's a risk. Like if I am a person from endemic area, it can be UP, Bihar, Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, anywhere. If I am coming to Delhi, I am going to Surat, I am going to Mumbai, I may be carrying it. And you just need one mosquito. It's a
Yeah.
curious mosquito to transmit. So the messaging, people sometimes feel, oh, I am not at risk.
Yeah.
That is the problem. When COVID came in, initially it was, oh, please use mask. Many people are, why should I? I'm healthy, why should I use? When the deaths started happening, then people started having everything. Luckily, or unfortunately, we don't have deaths in LF. It's a disability disease. So they may not die, but they will live a life of a crippled person for life, which is a bad thing, which we don't want to happen.
And mainly we tend to take things seriously only when we, that's what, as you said, when something really happens, when we can see some symptoms, and when we feel uncomfortable, we are not really, we don't feel normal, which is the problem, I think, because
Yeah, you are absolutely right. The problem is you will not see these people because there is so much stigma attached and so much physical disability attached. See,
right,
if I am a patient, the pictures you saw, will I be going out in market? Will I be going to, sit in buses or trains, or will I go to malls? I can't. First, physical problem. Second, that stigma.
vital stigma. Yeah,
Yeah. So therefore, the whole matter gets stuck because people have not seen such patients.
right.
And we have more than 10 lakh patients, more than 10 lakh. 6 lakh is officially already recorded, but the recording is not complete. There will be more cases. So if we have so many patients in the country, they will always have more patients if we don't eliminate this disease. My whole emphasis is, can we communicate to the people that this is a job which can be done in 1 year? If triple drug therapy is given to 80%, 85% population, that area will be free of filariasis forever till the time the migration doesn't happen. Can we do that? The sooner we do that, the sooner we will save so many children getting infected. Because mosquito bite can happen to anybody. Even if I am living in a 40-story, first class posh, multi-story, but some fine day I will come down to play in the garden or I will go to some park, mosquito will bite me. My child, my son, my daughter.
True.
That message is very important.
Right, sir. On that note and on that message, we hope that this people who are prone to these things and they live in these areas continue to help themselves by adhering to the instructions that have been given to them. And on this note, thank you so much for joining in the week.